Good evening, students. How are you all? In the last session, we have discussed about balanced diet and the nutrients that are to be taken in our diet that will help us to stay healthy and fit. So today we will be discussing some more about the nutrients and how can we do different tests of carbohydrates and fats. So here is what we have to do today. Okay. Just before that, we'll start to welcome you all on the number one platform of India, that is Swiflearn. It's the most sincere platform. Why we call as it is that sincere? Because it gives you the 100% live and interactive classes in which all the teachers are dedicatedly giving you more time and effort to each and every student to solve their problems. And we have personalized batch with maximum of 6 students. We have a dedicated mentor team that will track and work on your students' progress based on the assignments that are given to you and based on the questionnaire that is there provided by the Swiflearn. We cover all the syllabus as per the school exam schedule, and we also handle custom requests. So if in case, suppose a student is having a problem that his or her examinations are approaching and he wants a particular topic to be covered, so we just adjust the schedule accordingly. So we are basically dealing with the we are a learning destination that is there for the classes of 3rd to 10th. So what are our key features? Why are we so important? Because we deal with the detailed progress report of the students. We deal with the SATs, that is the Swiflearn academic test series that is available to you. And their students can take unlimited practice tests. So they are available on the site of Swiflearn. Once your kid registers with Swiflearn, he is able to see unlimited practice tests that are available. So he can just judge how much knowledge he has acquired from the, how much knowledge he has acquired of the particular chapter that is there. And we have subjective tests for that will help you to prepare for your school examinations. So what you can do, you can just go to our channel, that is Swiflearn. You can click on subscribe and press the bell button so that you are never missing any update from our site. So components of food. We have discussed about the components of food. So here we are on the second part of components of food. So what we have discussed in our previous class, that is what are the nutrients in food and what is a balanced diet. So what are the nutrients of the food that are present? They are carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins and minerals. Along with that, 2 more components that are very important that are to be included in your diet are roughage and water. They are not adding a nutrient value, but they are helping the nutrients to get absorbed, and the extra food that is to be removed from your body is removed with the help of roughage that is there in your diet. So what is a balanced diet? A balanced diet is basically right amount of nutrients along with the right amount of roughage and water. You know that 2/3 of our body part consists of water. So for that, the water is very important because it basically helps in the absorption of nutrients in a better way. So here we are. The objectives of our class today is how can we test carbohydrates in the food. If there is a food item that is there in front of you, how can you check whether it contains carbohydrates, whether it contains fat, or whether it contains protein? So here we are today. We'll be discussing how can we do a test of carbohydrates in food, test of fat in food, and test of protein in food. So just starting with that, once more a quick recap of what is a balanced diet. A balanced diet is a diet which includes all the nutrients required by our body to function properly along with roughage and water. These are the key nutrients that are most important. That is, if you talk about balanced diet and you say that there is nothing else except vitamins, proteins, minerals, and carbohydrates and fats. No, you are wrong in saying you need roughage and water also along with the nutrients that are there, because they will help in the absorption of the nutrients properly and the removal of waste from your body. Now, the nutrient requirements depend upon age, gender, and body size. How? We can say that men, if we talk about gender, we are talking about gender, then we say that men in general, they basically require more calories as compared to women. But corresponding to that, women have higher vitamin and mineral needs. They have higher vitamin and mineral needs as compared to men. But in terms of calories, if we do the calorie count, then men require more calories as compared to women. The nutrition requirement of kids from the age of 1 to 13, that is obviously we are considering the puberty also, that the girls and boys, the nutrient requirement is same. But after that, the nutrient requirement is changing according to the age of the kid. So the nutrient requirement is changing according to the age, according to the gender and the body size. Some people are requiring more, they require more nutrients, and some require less nutrients. It depends upon your body size also, that is there. So just have a quick look at the chart. This is basically a chart that is showing the balance side that is there. You can see that half of the section of this chart is showing you that 50% of your diet should contain fruits and vegetables. That is, you eat what you eat, you are eating your food, you are eating chapati, you are eating rice, you are eating methi and everything, you are eating green leafy vegetables, you are eating pulses. But the most important thing, your diet should include 50% of fruits and vegetables. And after that, once this 50% is over, you have another 50%. Then that 50% is divided into two categories. That is basically 25% you need to have protein rich food because it fills your, it keeps your stomach filled for a longer time. And then 25% is your fiber rich carbohydrates that give you energy. Carbohydrates is instant energy giving food. But fats, if you consider fats, they are not considered as healthy because the fats are there in your junk food also. Fats give you energy after a long time. They get stored inside your body, and when you have to absorb these fats, you have to do extra work because otherwise they'll sit on your tummy only. Okay, so 25% is your fiber rich carbohydrates, 25% is your protein rich food, and 50%, the most important, is your fruit and veggies that you need to take. Veggies you are taking in your food, but you should include fruits also in your diet. Now, what are the major kind of nutrients that are there? Major kind of nutrients, as we have already discussed, that the nutrients are what? They are vitamins, minerals, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. And additionally, food also contains water and dietary fibers, which we call as roughage also, and they are also required by our body. So we can conclude that vitamins, minerals, proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, these are the four nutrients that are required by the body. Along with this, two main things that are being required by your body are water and roughage. They have to be included in your diet. So how can we make our diet healthy? That is, it should be a balanced diet and it should be healthy also. It should, do good to our body. So food is basically divided into four groups that are there. What are these four groups? First is your cereal group, next is your vegetable and fruits, then is your milk group, and then is your protein group. So what are these groups and what is included in these groups? What sort of food is included in these groups? So every day we should eat food from each group with small amount of fat. We should try and include less amount of fat. Now, fat आता कहाँ से है? फैट आता है आपका ऑयली फूड से, जंक फूड से, फ्राइड जो आप खाते हो उससे फैट आता है. तो वी शुड अवॉइड टू ईट फैटी फूड बिकॉज फैट्स जो होते हैं हमारी बॉडी में जल्दी एब्सॉर्ब नहीं होते. दे टेक अ लॉन्ग टाइम टू गेट एब्सॉर्ब. They will get absorbed in our body and give us energy only when they are being decomposed, they are being broken down into fatty acids. Only then they are going to give us energy. Other than that, carbohydrates is the best source of energy that is there. So what is the cereal group? That is, cereal group is basically what it is. It is basically containing carbohydrates and minerals. Cereal grains, they are high in carbohydrates. They have low amount of fat and they are good sources of protein and they provide good fiber, vitamins and minerals to our body. So what is the cereal groups? What are the specifications of the cereal group? They are basically, they contain carbohydrates and vitamins and minerals. The most important thing is जो चीज हमें avoid करनी चाहिए वो इनमें बहुत कम quantity में होती है. That is, they have low amount of fat in there. So these are some of the examples of the cereal group. Your bread, rice, noodles, and wheat. They belong to the cereal group. Now coming to the next group, that is vegetable and fruits group. It is basically having, what it is having? It is basically having your vitamins, carbohydrates, and minerals. Now, discussing about coming to the vegetable and fruits group, what is so important? How do they help us basically? They help us in a way because they help you in lowering your cholesterol. They help you in what sense they help you? They lower your cholesterol. Cholesterol is there ना? Cholesterol आपका कम करता है. This vegetable and fruits group. और सबसे important thing, आज हर दूसरे बंदे को तकलीफ है बीपी की, blood pressure. They are facing the problem of high blood pressure because of the eating habits that they are having. So it basically helps you to lower your blood pressure that is there. आपका blood pressure कम रखता है, बहुत low नहीं करता है, to the optimal level that is to be there. And the most important thing जो आज हर बच्चे को तकलीफ होती है, they are putting on weight, they are eating, they are not having healthy eating habits because of this, which they are putting on weight. It reduces the obesity that is there, and it is helping you in what? It is helping you in maintaining your healthy weight. Maintaining healthy weight. So what are the benefits of this vegetable and fruits group? It basically lowers your cholesterol, the first one. It lowers your BP, that is, it keeps it to the optimal level that should be there. It reduces the obesity. Obesity is unwanted weight gain that is there. आपकी body में उतना होना नहीं चाहिए जितना हो रहा है because of the unhealthy eating habits. And it is maintaining your healthy weight. When obesity is not there and obesity is getting reduced, obviously you are going to maintain a healthy weight that is there. So after that, the next category that is there is your milk group. Now this milk group contains fats, proteins, and minerals. Now what are the special characteristics of the milk group that we need to understand is, milk group, you can see the examples in front of you, that is cheese and milk. Every kid is liking cheese, but it again has to be eaten in optimal quantity. So what are the advantages of this group, that is your milk group? It improves your bone health. It is improving your bone health, यानी कि आपकी जो bone health है वो improve होगी, जिसकी वजह से आप किस चीज को avoid करेंगे? You will avoid osteoporosis, that is the bones, the malfunctioning of bones, the bones are becoming hollow. So उस चीज को आप avoid कर सकते हैं if you are taking good amount of protein. And it helps in the good bone health during your adolescence and childhood. Basically बच्चे जो होते हैं, जो छोटे बच्चे होते हैं, the adolescence age in which they are coming, उस दौरान पेरेंट्स इस चीज का ध्यान रखते हैं कि बच्चों की प्रोटीन इंटेक बहुत अच्छी होनी चाहिए. Why? Because at that particular age, protein intake अगर अच्छा होता है, it will help them in the later stages of life. So to avoid osteoporosis and to have a good bone health, that is to have the good bone health, what is beneficial? We basically should take milk products that are there, that is cheese and milk. आप ये देखिए, अभी तक हमने जो डिस्कस करा, that is your cereals and then your fruit and vegetable group and then milk group, हर चीज important है. That means we should take a mixture of things in our diet. That is, it should not be there कि हम सिर्फ दाल ही खा रहे हैं, हम सिर्फ vegetables ही खा रहे हैं, हम सिर्फ fruits ही खा रहे हैं, हम सिर्फ दूध ही पी रहे हैं दिन भर, कि हमें खाना अच्छा नहीं लगता, we should drink only milk. No, it should not be there. We should take a mixture of things that is there. हमें सब कुछ खाना चाहिए जिससे कि हर तरीके के nutrients हमारी body में आ जाएं. So to get in, to have all the nutrients in our body and to have a healthy body and to protect, to help our body to protect against diseases, we should take all the groups that are there. So after this, we have next is your protein group. Now this protein group is basically, it is having fats and proteins. It is basically rich in your fats and proteins. You are seeing in every group that the fats are already there. So don't you think that there is no necessity of taking extra fats in our body, because they take so much time in getting absorbed in our body. So there is no need on taking the fats extra in our body because they take time. Inbuilt है ही हर group में थोड़े fats हमारी body में आ ही रहे हैं, तो better we should take this, we should follow this group in our diet, not to take external fats because they take time to get digested in our body. So कुछ प्रोटीन ग्रुप्स, अब प्रोटीन ग्रुप्स की व्हाट आर द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स, व्हाट आर द खास बातें ऑफ दिस प्रोटीन ग्रुप, दैट दे आर बेसिकली हाई इन फैट एंड कोलेस्ट्रॉल. जो हमने वेजिटेबल और फ्रूट ग्रुप की बात करी, दे हेल्प यू टू लोअर द कोलेस्ट्रॉल, but this protein group, it basically is high in fat and cholesterol. So अगर हम ये प्रोटीन ग्रुप, we relish this protein group and we are including it in our diet, तो इसके साथ हमें क्या खाना चाहिए जिससे कि हमारी बॉडी को कोई नुकसान ना हो? We should include vegetables and fruit in our diet. And it is normally said, you are able to see that there is meat in front of you, which is there on the slide. Meat is non-fibrous. The non-veg that you are eating, it is carrying there is no fiber in it. So you have to take external fiber that is there, that can be provided to you by the fruits, like oranges are there and many other fruits are there. So आपको अपनी डाइट में फाइबर इंक्लूड करना पड़ेगा if you want this thing to be digested in your body, that is meat. So protein group की क्या खास बात है? खास बात, I mean we can say it is a demerit, that it is what? It is high in fat and cholesterol. It is high in fat and cholesterol, and it is found in meat, poultry, seafood, and eggs. So basically, to absorb this, to help this food not to give any damage to your body, what you should do, you should include the vegetable and fruit group also in your diet, so that this is not harming your body. If you like it, you should have it, but you should include fruits and vegetable also in your diet. So we can now these were the different groups that we have done, that is the cereal and then veggies and fruit group and then your milk group and then your protein group. After this, we'll just check the presence of the major nutrients in the food by performing certain tests. That is, what are the major nutrients that are there? First is your fats, and then your carbohydrates, and then your proteins. We'll be taking carbohydrates and fats and then proteins. So how can we check? Can we actually check? And if we can check, how can we check it? So before that, just have a quick look at what are carbohydrates and how are they categorized into two categories. What are carbohydrates? Their main function is to provide energy to our body. What is the main function of carbohydrates? They provide energy to our body. And they are found in our food in the form of sugar and starch. These are the form of sugar and starch is basically the form in which they are present. Carbohydrates are present in our food. They are present in our food in the form of sugar and starch. And that is, we can say that basically carbohydrates is divided into two categories. First is your simple carbohydrate and next is your complex carbohydrate. Now, as the name suggests, that simple means they are very simply digested inside our body and then they give us instant energy. But complex is they take a little bit more time to get digested inside our body and they will give us energy a little later. So what are simple carbohydrates? They are found in natural sources of food, that is your milk, fruits and vegetables. They are found in natural sources, that is milk, fruits and vegetables. The carbohydrates are present. Now you'll say milk is a source of protein, that is there. So there are some kind of the energy is also there in milk that we are getting in the form of carbohydrates. So carbohydrates is somehow present in milk. So it is found in the natural sources of food like milk, fruit and vegetables. These carbohydrates add sweetness to the food. When you eat fruits and vegetables, कुछ vegetables होते हैं जैसे हम गाजर खाते हैं या some other vegetables, there is a natural sweetness in them. वो natural sweetness किस वजह से होती है? Because the carbohydrate is present in them, because of which they taste a bit sweet. So they raise the level of blood sugar glucose quickly but are easier to be broken down. Simple carbohydrates की क्या खास बात होती है? We are getting it from the natural sources like milk, fruits and vegetables, and they add sweetness to the food. Natural sweetness food को add करते हैं और इसकी वजह से, इनको खाने की वजह से हमारा ब्लड का शुगर का लेवल एकदम राइज हो जाता है. Why? Because they get immediately broken down and absorbed inside our body, inside the blood. ठीक है, जो भी हम फूड खाते हैं वो कहाँ एब्जॉर्ब होता है? फाइनली ब्लड में जाता है, जिसकी वजह से हमें एनर्जी मिलती है. सो दे आर ईजियर टू ब्रेक डाउन एंड दे गेट क्विकली एब्सॉर्ब्ड इनसाइड द ब्लड. Coming to the complex carbohydrate, they are basically found in your wheat grain, wheat bread, kernel and cakes. They are relatively less sweet than simple carbohydrates and they raise the blood glucose level rather slowly because these are tougher to break down. They take time to break down, and that is why they are basically raising the blood sugar level a little bit later than the simple carbohydrates. So what should we prefer? We should prefer simple carbohydrates or complex carbohydrates. Yes, we should prefer simple carbohydrates so our body is not taking time to get energy from these carbohydrates, and they are basically good source of energy that is there. They are instant source of energy that is there. Now, how can we test whether a food item is containing carbohydrate or not? The test is, we can test the presence of starch in the food by using a dilute iodine solution. अभी हमने कहा sugar and starch, they are the form in which the carbohydrate is present in our food. So here we are testing for the presence of starch in the food by using dilute iodine solution. This is important, that whenever you have to test for the presence of starch, you have to use dilute iodine solution. It is not a concentrated, it is basically iodine mixed with water. So we are doing the test of starch by using dilute iodine solution. What will iodine do when we use a dropper, take a dilute iodine solution in it and put it on a food item, and if the color changes to blue-black color, then it shows that it is having a starch in it. That is, it is a good source of carbohydrate. That is, it is having starch inside it. So what else we can say regarding this? That what are the steps to test the starch in a food? We have to take a small quantity of food. Then we have to add 2-3 drops of dilute iodine solution to it. And then if a blue-black color is produced, then the starch is present in the food. Now note this thing, they can ask, somebody can ask you that if you put a dilute iodine solution to a food item to test for the presence of starch, or they can say the presence of carbohydrate, then what will be the change in color? The color will change to a blue-black color. This shows that there is a presence of starch in that food item. Now, coming to the next slide, test of presence of starch in what? In potato. Potato is a rich source of starch that is there. You get energy from potato. कहते हैं ना आलू मत खाओ मोटे हो जाएंगे. You know, it is a good source of carbohydrates. So if we want to check for the presence of starch in a potato, how we can do that? We can drop 2 to 3 drops of iodine, dilute iodine solution on potato, and you'll be able to see a blue-black color, which shows that there is a presence of starch in potato. So potato is a rich source of carbohydrate. Now a slice of bread, it is also carbs. So how can we say that the starch is present in bread? Again, we have to do the same experiment. We have to drop 2 to 3 drops of iodine on a piece of bread. Now, when the color is changing to blue-black, then it shows that there is a presence of starch. It is a good source of carbohydrate. What will happen when we drop iodine on a boiled egg white? आप एक एग बॉईल करो, उसके व्हाइट पोर्शन पे आप आयोडीन सॉल्यूशन डालो. क्या आपको लगता है उसका कलर चेंज होगा? एग को हम क्या बोलते हैं? इट इज अ गुड सोर्स ऑफ carbohydrate, or is it a good source of protein or fat? White portion of your egg is a good source of protein. There is albumin, which is a good source of protein. So if you put a drop of iodine, dilute iodine solution on white portion of egg, you are not able to see the change in color. Why? Because no starch is present. It is a good source of protein. But if you'll do the test of protein, which will be coming in the next slides, so then it will show the positive test for your protein that is there. And this yellow portion, it is rich in cholesterol. तो जिन लोगों को cholesterol की तकलीफ होती है, वो egg में yellow portion नहीं खाते हैं because it is high in cholesterol. Now coming to fats. What are fats and how are they different from carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are also energy giving food. Fats are also energy giving food. Fats are responsible for providing energy to our body. In fact, they provide more energy than carbohydrates. The body uses fat as fuel source. Fats are essential for the absorption of vitamins A, D, E, K in the body. Butter, cheese, oil are example of fat-rich foods. Now, हम कहते हैं fat हमें कम लेना चाहिए, but we have to take some quantity of fat inside our diet. Why? क्योंकि ये किस चीज में हेल्प करते हैं? फैट्स हमारा सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट जो विटामिन और मिनरल्स इम्पोर्टेंट है हमारी बॉडी में, उसके एब्जॉर्प्शन में हमें कौन हेल्प करता है? Fats are helping us in the absorption of that vitamins that are there in our body. That is A, D, E, K. These are the vitamins that are there that are required by our body for good eyesight, for good, healthy bones, for good hair. So all these vitamins are required by our body. So for the better absorption of these vitamins that are there, the fats are required by our body. Now, why do we call the fats as fuel source? There is a reserve in your vehicle that is there. जब fuel खत्म हो जाता है, that reserve help you to drive the vehicle to some distance. Just like that, when carbohydrates are giving you instant energy, when the source of carbohydrates is finished, that is extra is removed out of your body. And what particular nutrient is giving energy to your body is your fats. That is why they are acting as a fuel source. Fuel is what? It is driving something. It is used to drive your car, your scooter, your bike. तो वो क्या करता है? एनर्जी देता है ताकि वो हमारा व्हीकल चल सके. उसी तरीके से हमारी बॉडी को एनर्जी देने के लिए what is that? That is fat. यानी कि fat is basically acting as a fuel source of your body. So what is the fuel source of your body? Fats are the fuel source of body, and the most important thing about fats is they help in the absorption of vitamins A, D, E, K in our body. And how do you get the fats in your body? You get it from butter, cheese and oils that are fat rich foods. Now, how can you check the presence of fat that is there? हम French fries खाते हैं, finger chips खाते हैं, तो हम क्या करते हैं? उसको एक पेपर पे डालते हैं. When we remove that French fries, हम देखते हैं वहाँ पे oil cake, there is a boundary that is there, जिसके through that is translucent. We are not able to see through it perfectly, but there is a layer that is being formed because of the oil that was there in that French fries. So the same thing you have to do. How can you test the presence of fat? You have to rub a small quantity of the given food item in which you want to check that fat is there or not in the center of the brown paper. Take a brown paper and just rub, or you can check if you want to check. Butter is a good source of fat, so butter हाथ में लीजिए और उसको rub करिए brown paper पे. Now hold this paper in front of a source of light. Just hold it in front of the source of light and look through it. If the food has left a bright greasy patch on the paper, the fat is present in the food. अगर वो greasy patch हो जाता है उसके ऊपर, that means it is having fat inside it. यानी कि जब आप उसको रब करते हैं and then you are seeing it against the light, good source of light, you are able to see a greasy patch जिसके थ्रू आप नहीं देख सकते क्योंकि वो transparent नहीं, translucent होता है. तो वो आपको क्या बताएगा? That it is having a good source of fat present in it. How you can test it with butter also, the same thing that we have just discussed. Now coming to another category, that is your proteins. Why proteins are so essential for our body? They perform the very essential function of helping our body grow and repair itself. They are basically the body building foods that are there. They help in building up your body and repairing the damaged cells that are there. आपकी body में cells torn out होते हैं, खत्म होते हैं, नए cells बनते हैं. इस चीज में कौन help करता है? कौन सा nutrient help करता है आपकी body में? Proteins are helping. They are basically found in food items such as milk, pulses, eggs and meat. They are the rich sources of protein, and foods containing proteins are called as bodybuilding food because they help in building up your body. That is why they are called as bodybuilding food. Protein rich food को हम क्या बोलते हैं? We call it as a bodybuilding food. Now, how can we check for the presence of protein inside the food item? ये बात ध्यान रखो बच्चों, प्रोटीन जो होता है वो वॉयलेट कलर देता है जब हम अल्कलाइन सॉल्यूशन ऑफ कॉपर सल्फेट यूज करते हैं. दैट इज जब हम कॉपर सल्फेट का अल्कलाइन सॉल्यूशन किसी आइटम पे डालेंगे, what will be the color change? The color of the food item that will contain protein will change to violet color. This experiment you can do with the egg white. क्योंकि egg white को हमने starch के लिए check करा तो starch was not there because it is rich in protein. So the same experiment can be done for the egg white. Boiled egg का egg white लो और उसमें आप क्या डालो? Alkaline copper solution of copper sulfate डालो. Then you will see that the color will change to violet. Why? Because it shows that it is having protein in it. How can we check for the protein? Take 2 ml of the foodstuff solution in a test tube. There are test tubes in your laboratory which is used to carry out some tests that are there. So you have to take only 2 ml of a foodstuff in a test tube. Add a little dilute sodium hydroxide solution till the mixture clears. Add 2-3 drops of copper sulfate solution and shake the test tube. If violet color appears, then the protein is present in the foodstuff. Now what you have to do, inside the foodstuff, what you have to do, you have to take 2 ml of the foodstuff solution. There is a solution that you have to make, and then you have to take it inside the test tube. उसमें आपको क्या add करना है? What all is to be added inside it? You have to add dilute sodium hydroxide. That is a basic form of basically हमने अभी बोला alkaline solution चाहिए हमें copper sulfate का. तो alkaline solution कैसे बनेगा? जब हम उसमें कोई base डालेंगे. What is a base? This hydroxide group, जिसमें भी hydroxide होता है वो हमारा basic base होता है. तो हमने पहले उसमें क्या डाला? dilute sodium hydroxide डाला. उसके बाद हमने देखा मिक्सचर क्लियर हो जाना चाहिए. उसके बाद हमने उसमें क्या डाला? We were adding 2 to 3 drops of copper sulfate solution, and we just shake the test tube, and then we were able to see that the violet color is appearing, which is showing that protein is present in that particular food item. So what is being seen here on this slide, that we have taken milk, and what we have done, there is a salt and there is an egg white. So milk में हमने डाला, salt में डाला और egg white में डाला. Just have a look in which there was a color change. Milk में color change हुआ because it contains protein, और egg white में भी color change हुआ because it is also containing protein. But salt is not rich in protein. It is obviously a salt that is formed by the combination of an acid and a base. तो salt का color नहीं change हुआ. This shows the presence of protein in which food items? Milk and egg white. Now, what will happen due to improper intake of nutrient-rich food? अगर हमने properly, हमारे पास there is nutrient-rich food, but we are not taking it properly. We are not consuming nutrient-rich food. अगर हम नहीं लेते, तो what will happen to it? Malnutrition. The most common problem faced with the children nowadays is malnutrition. What happens in malnutrition? Improper intake of nutrient-rich food may lead to another condition, which is malnutrition or undernutrition. That means either they are getting less nutrition or they are not getting any nutrition. उनको जो मिलता है वो खा रहे हैं. That is improper intake of nutrient rich food. अगर हम properly जो nutrient rich food है हम उसको properly नहीं ले रहे हैं, we are not consuming it inside our body properly, then it can lead to malnutrition or undernutrition. That is क्यों हो रहा है ये? क्योंकि without adequate intake of food our bones are becoming brittle. क्यों हो रहा है और इसका इफेक्ट क्या है? क्यों हो रहा है? क्योंकि हम न्यूट्रिएंट रिच फूड बिल्कुल नहीं खा रहे हैं. We are not eating. I'm not specifically saying that we are not eating. In general, many people are there who are not able to get proper food, proper nutrient diet, nutrient-rich diet. So because of which they are facing malnutrition, and because of this malnutrition, many diseases are arising. You can name them as kwashiorkor and marasmus also. So what happens if you take, if there is not a nutrient-rich food that is taken by you? Without adequate intake of food, our bones become brittle. यानी कि हम जरा सा गिरे तो हमारा क्या हो गई, हमारी बोन में क्रैक आ गया. तो दिस इज नॉट डन. ये नहीं होना चाहिए. हमारी बोन्स शुड बी हेल्दी. आवर मसल्स वीकन. हमारी मसल्स की जो स्ट्रेंथ होती है, इट बिकम्स लेस, and our thinking becomes foggy मतलब हमें कुछ याद नहीं रहता, हम भूल रहे हैं. Why? Because there is not proper nutrition that is there inside our body. We are not getting proper nutrition from the food that we are eating. We should eat good nutrient rich food. In such situations our bodies are said to become malnourished. That is, we are malnourished. If these things are happening, that is, you can just observe it around you, that if these are the symptoms that you are just observing in some of the children that are there around you, then it is a serious problem. That student or that particular person is malnourished, so he should be given a nutrient rich diet that is there. So these are some fun facts that you need to know, that there are more than 200 diseases that are spread due to food. Either the people are not getting good food, or they are eating, the food that is unhealthy, that is not good for, that is not fit for their body, or they are not getting food at all. So खाने की वजह से 200 से ज़्यादा diseases हैं जो कि spread होती हैं. Contaminated food that is not fit for eating. it is causing long-term health problems. यानी कि उनमें contamination है, they are not fresh, उनको contaminate किया हुआ है, they are not fit for eating. So they can cause long-term health problems. There are around 2,000 different plant types that humans use to cultivate food. 2,000 different plant के types हैं जो कि human beings use कर रहे हैं अपना to cultivate the food. इतनी ज़्यादा varieties of plants use हो रहे हैं. The sweet potato, there is a maybe you might all be knowing that sweet potato is a root vegetable and is not closely related to a potato. हम normally sweet potato जो होता है, it is different from a potato and it is a root vegetable. It is growing under the ground, that is there. Cutting onion. Why do you cry when you are cutting onions? There is a reason behind it. Today you are going to understand that reason. Cutting onions release a gas which causes a stinging sensation when it comes in contact with our eyes. Our body produces tears to dilute the irritant and remove it from eyes. जब हम onion को cut करते हैं तो एक gas release होती है जिसकी वजह से हमारी eyes में एक stinging sensation होती है. It is very irritating. It is causing irritation in our eyes. When it comes in contact with our eyes, तो उस irritant को, that stinging sensation जिस gas की वजह से हो रही है, वो हमारी eyes को कुछ damage ना करे, उसकी वजह से हमारी body क्या release करती है, tears release करती है, जिसके साथ वो gas mix होके it comes out from our body and it is not disturbing our body. So, how will you will test the presence of starch in the flour. That is, you will just drop dilute iodine solution on the floor, and what will happen? The color will change to blue-black. So it shows that there is a presence of starch in flour. How can you test the presence of protein in the milk? First, you have to make 2 ml solution of that particular food item, that is milk, in the water, and then after you should add sodium hydroxide, and after that you should add copper sulfate, and then the color will change to purple. This shows that it is having protein in it. What is malnutrition? That is, you are not getting proper nutrients in your diet. That is, you are you are lacking in the nutrition that is being provided by the nutrient-rich diet. Then it is causing malnutrition. What sort of diseases are linked with malnutrition is kwashiorkor and marasmus. What we have learned today is how can we test for carbohydrates in food? How can we test for fat in food? How can we test for protein in food? We have discussed about the different nutrients that are present in food, that is carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals. Along with this, 2 more things that are most required that are to be included in our diet is roughage and water, because they help in the proper functioning of the body. Carbohydrate is instant energy giving food and fat is relatively slow in energy giving, but they are the fuel source of our body. Protein, what is importance of protein? Protein is basically helping you in bodybuilding and repairing the damaged cells that are there in body. Now, discussing about vitamins and minerals. What are vitamins and minerals? Vitamins basically help you in good eyesight, they help you in proper digestion, healthy teeth, and many more. And minerals, they help to build bones and they help in the formation of blood and then the coagulation of blood. If there is a, you are falling down somewhere and you got, there is an injury that is there, then the coagulation, the blood is stopping after some time because you have good amount of minerals that are included in your diet, that is it. After that, roughage and water. Why are they important? Water is important because it helps in digested food to be transported to the body cells and it transports chemicals. Roughage is what? It is an indigestible carbohydrate which is called as cellulose, and we get it from the plant cell wall. So it basically helps you to relieve constipation. If you are having good amount of roughage in your diet, then you will not face a problem of constipation that is there. So this was all the nutrients that are there. Along with that, you need roughage and water. Now, carbohydrates is basically divided into 2 categories. One is your simple carbohydrate, which gives you instant energy. That is, they don't take time to get broken down. And one is your complex carbohydrate. Why they are called as complex? Because they take a little more time in getting broken down to give you more energy. This is a difference between both of them. So with this, we have finished our session for today. Please do subscribe to Swiflearn so that you can hear for more updates and you can just revise all your term syllabus with Swiflearn. Thank you. Have a nice day.